What do your dad and King Charles have in common?
Oh God.
Most things Dan doesn't last. It's not.
Whoever said that is an asshole.
And it was like quite a hard conversation, but luckily like he was really supportive. And the first thing my dad said was, oh brilliant, both my sons have got failed marriages. So that was like, that made me feel warm and fuzzy. You fucking knob jockey, mate. Brilliant. Just for everyone listening there, what's happened is we've just recorded half an hour of an episode and Jonno forgot to press record. Alright, knock knock.
Who's there?
Not Ricky's dad. Because that's his eulogy.
Wow, that looks really cool.
Great, that neon sign looks so cool.
Is that a studio space for us?
It is. All of that for us. For us.
Wow. Good job.
Welcome to this week's episode of Two and a Half Friends with me, Dan Lawrence, newly single.
Not by choice.
So it doesn't matter.
I'm Jonno, and he's irrelevant.
That's it. We're going to reshoot this.
Probably not Rocky, no.
It's Ricky.
So I started smoking and quit on the same day.
Sorry, that needs more information.
Well, I think that's pretty much it, isn't it? I started smoking, I quit on the same day.
Okay, two things. Why did you start smoking? And secondly, why did you quit within 24 hours?
Okay, it wasn't...
Most things Dan doesn't last. It's not.
Is that a marriage joke? Or a sexual joke?
Longevity isn't
Both.
Longevity isn't his thing.
No, exactly that. No,
Short bursts.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I mean, it's a Valentines Day special and you're just mocking my marriage.
Oh, okay, but my dad's okay. My dead dad is... Oh, God, that's really...
He's fair game.
Yeah.
You brought his eulogy in, mate.
Yeah, so I could remember him.
Every week.
How are we going to remember him? By us telling jokes and in a light-hearted...
Us.
In a light-hearted manner?
No, fair enough.
You learned that bad joke.
No, I just had one.
You learned any chords? Well, okay, go for it. I need to hear it. The face tells me I need to hear this joke. I don't know if you do that.
What do your dad and King Charles have in common?
Oh God. That's not making it.
Can't make the cut.
That is not
They're
making
both
it.
friends with Epstein.
So that story when you was 9
That'd be better.
was a real story. So yeah, I started smoking and quit on the same day. Which is
This
true.
is going to be a rough edit.
That is going to be.
This is going to be.
And you're definitely recording this time, so I'm not doing this for a third time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we recorded the King Charles show. Yeah, yeah. The smoking isn't the unbelievable path. That
The smoking-
isn't walking anywhere
Oh yeah, well I walked to the shop because I'm trying to get my
on them things.
trying to get my fitness up.
Fit this old cock in your mouth.
You could have gone with pizza. You could have gone with a fat joke, and now you've gone with something I've got to beep out. It's funny when I beep it anyway. So it's fine.
Why do you have to beep it out?
Well, I wouldn't have a. What do you mean?
What?
Don't worry about it, I'm not saying you. I know what you're doing. I'm not falling for your trap, mate. So when I walked to the shop and I was a bit low, I was a bit down. Obviously my marriage had just ended. I don't know if did I mention that?
No.
I did. I didn't.
I think once or twice.
No, that's come out of the blue to me.
That has, yeah, it's a shop. Well, I don't really talk about it much. So.
I was wondering why people keep asking about you.
Yeah. So I was walking to the shop. I was a bit down. I was a bit low, and I saw like my confidence is low. My confidence was low.
Over it by now.
Yeah.
And outside the shop there was this guy, and he was smoking. And I just thought
He's hot.
he just looked sexy.
Yeah. Describe him. Give me the
But
aesthetic.
all right, long blonde hair. It was definitely a guy, but long like blonde hair,
Oh, yeah.
but like Robbie Savage type,
Oh, love
like
it.
that. But like quite
Greasy.
not greasy. Like he looks well kept.
Like a shabby
you know,
Thor.
You sure? Okay.
Sure.
And
That's one of his funniest non-offensive jokes.
it is. I think I only find the offensive ones funny though.
No, yeah,
That's
they
my
are
problem.
more
It's like
funny.
it's the dark humour.
Yeah.
But it's editing.
Anyway, just to speed this up now. So I saw a man. He was smoking. Looked cool, and I thought, do you know what? I'm single now. I can do what I want. I'm going to start smoking. So I googled obviously what cigarettes people buy now because it's sort of changed.
You didn't think to ask Robbie Savage?
I definitely didn't ask another man. You
could have just said,
what
"Oh,
cigarettes. Well, what brand of cigarette do you smoke?
You could have said, sorry, mate. The videos haven't been doing too well. Can I borrow one
Can
of
I borrow a
those?
cigarette? What I should have done in hindsight, he probably would have said yes. He looked like a nice guy. Probably would have given me a cigarette.
So you can't borrow a cigarette.
No, I could
you
have
can.
I could just had a cigarette, and then I could have just known then that I didn't like smoking and just not wasted £10.50. So I then googled what cigarettes, went into the shop, bought some cigarettes, forgot that I needed a lighter, went back in, bought a lighter, had a cigarette, and then that afternoon I was sick.
You were sick.
I was sick.
Where
threw
would
I was
up.
violently ill.
Where?
The only person
my
I've ever known to OD on a Mobra.
I OD'd on.
Other cigarette brands are.
I'm having a whitey.
So yeah, that wasn't a pleasant experience.
That's done now.
So I quit
Smoking's
smoking.
done now for you.
Out of my system.
Was it easy? Did you go cold turkey?
I needed the patches for a few hours. Got
in the gum.
patches in the gum. Yeah.
Have you replaced it with anything?
And I relapsed probably a couple of times.
What you say? You've gone back to the packet since?
No, that was a joke. I thought actually I'd have something else to say, and then my brain went, "You're on your own here."
Oh.
So I didn't relapse because I had one cigarette, and then
That'll
I
be the
was
cigarette.
sick.
Yeah.
Smoking
No.
kills brain cells, so
Yeah.
you've had one and it's killed half of your.
It has. I'm not funny anymore.
I don't think you've gone back to the packet since you was an estate agent, have you?
So welcome to the Valentine's Day special.
Oh man, I just love. Do you guys not just love?
Yeah.
I just really love.
I used to love it, mate. Used to bloody love the stuff. Couldn't get enough of it. Couldn't get enough of it.
No, I still can't. But yeah, oh man, Valentine's Day. Have you got any plans? You two going to go out for a meeting at the park or something?
Yeah.
Maybe actually, yeah.
Probably get a packet of cigarettes.
Probably.
Ah.
No, I've quit, so I can't be around you if you're gonna.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just too weak to be.
One puff. And
I'm straight
Literally, no, straight on the brown.
for another 24 hours.
on the brown. Oh god.
No, but I thought we would talk about love because it's a Valentine's Day special. But something I found interesting is since I put myself out there and sort of told my story and
Heroically.
not heroically. I don't want to know. I don't want to say I'm a hero for putting myself out there. You know, everyone else can do that.
But people have said that. Yeah, I've seen it.
People have genuinely said that. Yeah, but I mean, as a joke, haha, that's funny. But I don't feel obviously I don't feel like that in any way, shape, or form. Like it is good that people do feel supported, and I do want to give, I guess, people not a voice, but I don't expect everyone to record themselves and put it on social media, and that's the solution. Like the solution, I think, to if you feel down is talk to your friends, talk to your family. But by me putting myself out there shows actually there are still dickheads that will say, just man up and get on with it. And actually there's people that probably just need someone to put themselves out there to say, I don't care about those bullies and the people that say man up, just do it anyway. But so as a part of that, I've then had quite a few messages come in from people that have been broken up with or have broken up with someone, and they've sort of told their story, which is nice, and they've said, look, it does get easier, it does get better, and time is a healer. But a lot of the same thing kept coming up, which is why a relationship ends, and which is that love wasn't enough. And that was mainly from women that are saying that to men. So I found this whole thing really interesting about men and women look at things completely differently. So let's save everyone's marriage. It's too late for me.
I mean,
but we can, from here on out, you know, we can then save everyone else's marriage.
we definitely need people that
So
they come to for that.
Yeah, so if somebody's married, if they think my marriage is failing, this is the podcast.
This is the
that
one.
will give them salvation.
Why not? This could help them, because actually I've drafted in lots of women
Yeah.
to give us some, not
Happy
that kind of-
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone's moved on.
So a lot of messages that are saying from women that said I had to leave because love isn't enough, or men that have said she left me and she told me love isn't enough. And it got me thinking that it's something that as a man, and maybe I'm just simple or maybe I'm different,
Yep.
but love is exactly enough. Like I just assumed love is exactly enough. But actually I've been on this journey of posting it on Instagram and asking for opinions, and my eyes have actually been opened.
Well,
I think it's probably that people, men and women's opinions of what love is different.
yeah. I also think not only is it a gender demographic thing where that is probably differs, I also think it's an age thing. Like I think when we talk about love being enough, if I look back at my nan and granddad or people, relationships in the 50s, just as an example, like there was always this, and what we spoke about this before, but there was always this: if there was something wrong with the relationship, that you just repeatedly work on it until it works.
Yeah.
And it's you didn't kind of cut your losses and move on back in those days, whereas now people are more likely. I just think people, I don't know if value themselves is the right way to say it.
Yeah, but I think generally as a society, everything is replaceable, isn't it? It's just a replaceable society that. Go back 50, 60, 70 years ago, everything had to be fixed and had to be used again, whether that was a relationship or whether that was a washing machine or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Whereas now,
Are you comparing marriage to a washing machine?
no, but I'm just saying that. But
Both
now,
cost a lot.
but now it's easier to go. Okay, that doesn't work anymore. I'm going to move on to the next.
And then see what else can work.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same thing as
Yeah.
jobs as well. Like people used to have careers that with one company that spanned for 50 years, whereas now people will, like, I've changed job. You just cut and change jobs to see what fits and where you can get the most money, and that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is then that relationships aren't necessarily different, but life is different. So life gives people more options and more alternatives. It's easier now to go and get a new job and a new career, whereas back in the old days there was probably not that many professions. So it's like, if you're a mechanic, you're a mechanic for your life. If you're a plumber, you're a plumber.
But you also, I think as well, like back then, there wasn't like social media, entertainment, all of that side of things wasn't as vast. So people weren't constantly watching romantic films and comparing their romance against that.
Yeah.
Like back then, there just wasn't that much. So all you knew was your relationship, your existence. I'm not saying that the TV obviously existed. There was films and stuff like that. But now it's, you know.
Yeah, but I remember 30 years ago when people lost their minds because we got a fifth channel.
But yeah, like I think as well, it was like back then it wasn't as easy. Like let's say for example, you had you were courting someone or dating someone and it doesn't go well. You couldn't just go on an app and get 30 people potentially having another date with you. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. So I think that's potentially why nowadays maybe love isn't always enough. But we will go through our opinions, but I think that probably actually.
So if someone right, so if I was to ask you, we'll all answer this, and I think we'll all probably have the same answer, and we'll answer it again at the end.
Okay.
But with a yes or no, is love enough?
Yes.
Is love enough?
Yes.
And yes for me.
But there's a reason why I had to hold, like, I'll give my opinion and then we'll listen to someone and you guys can give your opinion at the end. But I want to give my opinion without it being changed from these messages.
Perfect,
right?
that's fine. Because what I will say is you're a younger demographic.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the opinions, and we'll go through that journey, I think, all together, and we'll hear opinions and we'll give our opinions on that. Yeah. But you're of a younger age range, and I think that's part of it.
I still definitely think there's a massive world of different. Like me being 30, I can't even imagine what relationships are like for a 19-year-old now, because I think it's probably so much different. But like, I still did meet Vicky through Tinder, which I imagine a lot of people now are the only way you meet people are through apps now, I think. So but I think love, I'm going to explain it in a way that only a 21 stone fat person can. Love to me is like a 12-inch Subway sandwich, right? See where I'm going with this. So the love part of it is your bread. Yeah. And all the other parts that are part of a relationship, like your love life, the paying attention to each other, finances, because whether people say it matters or not, it does, I think. All those are your feelings. And you might not have all of those feelings, but you still have a sandwich, and that's the relationship.
What's the meat?
What?
What's the meat?
What's the meat? Probably sex, right? But I think, like, ultimately, you might not have all the ingredients, but as long as the love is there, you can still call it a sandwich. I think that is ultimately it.
Right.
So, and at different points, you're going to have different fillings, but as long as the love is there, it will always hold together until you've eaten past that point where it starts to fall apart, maybe. But that is my idea of love. Like, love is enough. Because that's the thing that holds it all together, which is why I think it is enough. Okay. Because you can only have one ingredient in the middle, and as long as the love is there, you'll get through those things. You'll work on that until you have all the ingredients you want.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if mine. When I say yes, it is enough. I don't know if I'm saying that because I genuinely believe that it is enough, or that. I want to believe that it's enough, and I think that for me, that comes from being raised in a family where my mum and dad have been together since my mum was 17 and my dad's 19, and they had two young children by the time my mum was like 20. And they've been together, like they've been married like 43, 44 years. Do you know what I mean? Like, so my perception of that is that you watch people go through tough times and get through it, and so I want to believe that it is enough, because I think part of a relationship breaking down is, the sad part of it is, have I let my family down by my mum and dad have been together 40 odd years, my nan and granddad have been together 60 odd years, 70 years, like, why have I not been able to make it work, and I should have been able to make it work. I've only ever been in that environment. Why is mine different to theirs? What have I done differently, or why am I not enough for me to be in that situation?
So mine is exactly the same as yours. A lot of the things you've just said are exactly the thoughts I've had. So when I say yes now, I'm sort of answering because that's really what I want to believe.
Yeah.
That it is. But I think and I've been on this side of it now, listening to lots of people's stories, whereas now I probably understand why it isn't, but I do want to believe it is.
Yeah.
But it's the same, like the first thing I thought when, like, our marriage ended was my nan and granddad would be disappointed with me.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't. It's like I just wouldn't want to disappoint them. But they're not around anymore. But that was my first. Yeah. It's about the family.
Definitely.
Because they were together all their lives. Like my mum and dad still together. So it's like, and that, what's wrong with me? Why am I not enough?
And I get that. I get it, because it is a huge thing, sitting down and having to explain that to parents, that it's not.
Yeah.
This hasn't worked, especially when there's children involved as well. Like it's hard to sit down and be.
Yeah.
I haven't, and I think I don't want to get into male and female, but I think as a man, it's hard. It's hard to go, I couldn't make this work, and you look at yourself and think, why have I not been able to make this work? What is it? What is it about me? What is it about me that I've not been enough?
Yeah.
Like my love, my support, my caring, whatever that might be, has not been enough for you, and that's.
But I think that's what we'll go in. I think that's what we'll go into, because actually, I think what I've learned is it's not that it's not enough. It's just you're with the wrong person. Because if you're with the right person, it is enough.
But then also, I get that love's a feeling.
Yeah.
And feelings change.
Yeah.
To go back to a point you made earlier, you felt you wanted a cigarette. 12 hours later, you felt sick and you didn't want that cigarette.
Yeah.
So
it's more like 2 hours as well. If you wanna, I don't want to
make out like you're a chain smoker. You
I wasn't.
throw up in your bed.
Yeah, and I didn't even finish it. If I'm honest, if we're being honest with each other now, it's like half.
How many tokes? Literally?
I don't know. I didn't count because I was too cool.
It sounds so
Yeah.
Lucky to
I smoked a pack of cigarette once.
But I've got a funny story about you and cigarettes actually in a minute. I don't know if you can air it on the podcast, but
you can't.
I'm getting.
We don't want people to think you're unhealthy.
Luckily, though, talking about the family thing, just sorry to bring it back down again, but like I told my dad, and it was like quite a hard conversation, but luckily, like he was really supportive.
Wish I could tell my dad.
And the first thing my dad said was, "Oh, brilliant! Both my sons have got failed marriages." So that was like that made me feel warm and fuzzy inside. And I just
knowing
thought,
you had that support.
I've got that support. That's nailed that in there. That's good. I've got that. I can go to that when I need that support.
When I'm having a bad day, I know where I'm going.
So basically,
that's it. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's failure number 2.
He probably done. Yeah. And that was harder for me actually, because I've always tried to make my parents proud, and always worked at a career, and that was like again, like it's funny because when I left my job to do social media, they were like, "Oh, are you sure about that? Are you sure you're funny enough? I don't think you should stick at your job and then do that as a little bit of fun. But do your painting, do your do your videos. It's fine." That was a Ricky Gervais, that was a David Brent thing.
That doesn't come from a place of they didn't believe in you. That's probably come from a place of they just didn't understand. And when you go back to if your dad sat there thinking, "Oh my God, if I could imagine me telling my dad I'm going to go and record videos and post it online," he would have sounded mental. Years ago.
That's it. It's
so he's thinking, well, no, you should have a. He comes from a generation where you should have a trade, or you should do this. So it's completely new to him. So it's not that you're a disappointment to him in doing that. It's just the fact that he didn't see value in what you were trying to do.
And ultimately, he was already disappointed in me, so it didn't really matter what else I do. So, but also the marriage ending and his opinion of that, I guess. And he doesn't feel like that. It's just a throwaway comment. I get that, but it still comes from that generation of, well, my mum and dad were together, and you know, my mum's mum and dad were together all their lives, and.
Well, marriage still comes from fail back then.
Marriage didn't fail. Wasn't really an option.
No, I disagree. I think marriages failed. I just think that people dealt with them a lot differently. It wasn't. I don't think for 1 second that every marriage in the 50s and 60s was incredible and absolutely amazing. There was different problems. There was women that would stay with their husbands because it was seen as their role to stay at home, look after the children. Where their husband was down the pub every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and days on end, and not going home. So I don't believe that they were completely happy, but it was just.
I see what makes that worse though is that they were doing that and their marriages still worked.
Yeah,
but I can't even smoke a cigarette.
What's the definition of worked? That's the thing. I mean, that's it. It's like the people's relationships, even today, that like we might perceive them as they're working, but the people in them might be unhappy. But they're just staying with. They're just making it work, or they're making it do because of that's the easiest thing to do. So I do think people will stay in relationships out because they're creatures of habit.
Yeah,
that's it. It's like,
but I agree. But what's to say? And this is I guess the whole of the grass isn't greener. What happens if you're unhappy? So I leave a relationship. I'll get with someone new. 2 years down the line, I'm just as unhappy. Well, you might as well stay where you were and fixed it.
But also, would you want to stay in that, knowing that they don't really want to be there? They're staying there because it might not be as good, or it might be worse if they go elsewhere. They're not staying in that because that is the happiest. That is their comfort place. That is their place where they feel most appreciated in their entire world. They're staying there because they want to. That it might be a bit risky to move on, and I might not be as happy elsewhere. So we'll just stay here and be 50% happy because I might only be 25% happy if I move.
Yeah,
but I think that's
you're asking people to have the foresight, the height. Like ultimately, yes, they could break up from their relationship, go into another one, and those issues still be there in 2 years. But that's a level of hindsight that humans aren't capable of.
Yeah.
Like ultimately, when that relationship broke down originally, they felt like that relationship was the problem. All they can do after the second relationship of 2 years and realise that wasn't the problem. The problem wasn't the relationship. The only thing they can do is look at themselves. But they can't do that straight away. They need that. They need that process.
I understand that.
That process has to happen. But yeah.
Should we get some opinions? Because I put some
female opinions.
Let's get some female opinions because I put it on my Instagram story and asked women mainly.
Yeah. We don't need a man's opinion.
Well, we've got. I think we're pretty much. We've got a man's opinion, haven't we?
And Ricky's.
We've got 3 of them. 2 of them and Ricky.
Yeah.
We've got 2.5 opinions.
We've got 2.5 opinions. So I thought we would. We would. I don't know how to do this though. I'm not very technically gifted.
Sorry, you work in social media.
Oh, I know, but hang on. So what I thought we'd do is I'll play these out.
Yeah.
We'll do one at a time, and we'll just then have an opinion on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi Dan, it's me.
Wait, sorry, stop it. Who's me?
What? Well, no, these are all remaining anonymous, so I can't.
This is anonymous.
These are all. I should have said that. All of these voice notes are remaining.
But why should saying it's me?
But they're not people.
Well, because I know who it is, but you don't know, and the listeners don't know who it is.
Do we know who it is though?
Oh, maybe can we do a quiz?
Is it someone that we know?
No, you won't know who it is. Probably you might know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Janine from EastEnders.
It's not Janine from EastEnders. It's talking about Barry.
Is it Holly Willoughby?
Holly Willoughby.
Is it Stephen
I
Mullen?
wish it was. It's not Stephen Mullen. Right.
Such a sexy.
So we'll play this first one out, and then we'll talk about it. And this is someone's opinion to the question: is love enough?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hi Dan, it's me.
Do that again.
So I just saw your story, so I thought I'd put my 2 pence in. I think the truth is love isn't enough for men or women. However, for women, from the onset, they look for the other things, where for men, from the onset, if they've got the attraction, the chemistry, and that feeling of love, that's enough. Because I think women are sort of a bit more complex and emotionally complex. They look for the other things apart from love, which is love, honesty, trust, loyalty, and to make sure actions, behaviours match their words. They look for that from the onset, from the very beginning, when men are happy to try before they buy.
I'm glad you started with the short one. I'm glad that
she threw in more than her 2 piece.
She did, yeah.
I'm glad that she made my Subway story seem short. And I thought I was like...
It was long, but so I think what she's saying is, I don't really know. Love isn't enough. Love is a foundation, which is what you've said essentially.
I agree with her.
I was nearly said her name then.
No, I actually do really agree with her, and that's ultimately. And I get what she says as well. It's like men will throw themselves into a situation and deal with the consequences after. Like when I met Vicky, I didn't give a shit about nearly anything other than the fact that I just enjoyed spending time with this person, and anything that happens, it happens. Whereas I think you're right, Vicky. This is going on a bit of a tangent, so I apologise. But when me and Vicky first got together, we were dating, and after about 2 weeks, she basically blocked me on Facebook and sent me a message and stopped messaging me. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm being ghosted.
Can I ask one quick question?
Yeah.
Had you met each other by this point, or was this just messaging?
No, I think we had met each other.
That's
but what basically happened is I don't really use Facebook that much. I didn't realise that I was still in a relationship on Facebook with my ex-girlfriend.
Ah, okay.
And Vicky basically messaged me and was like, I can't believe that you're cheating on your missus with me. And I was like, no. Basically, what had happened is that person had unrelationshiped me on Facebook, but because I hadn't done it on my end, it still just said is in a relationship.
Right.
And Vicky was like, well, you're not in a relationship with me. So I feel like girls are more cautious. They're like, she said about try before you buy. Like, she was doing all the research and wanted to make sure that I was the right package before we'd even got in there. And that was kind of the start of it.
Do you notice we all raised our eyebrows when she said men try before they buy?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, we do. Yes, we do.
Talking about sex.
That's
what you mean, men.
That is what you mean, man.
Any opinions on that, Jonno?
Yeah, I do agree with that men will try before they buy. I think it's difficult for when she was saying that men will go off of attraction. I always find that a bit patronising. Like it's only men that are attracted to people. So it's not like girls will stand in a bar and be like, oh my god, he's really good looking, or I hope he comes over and buys me a drink. I don't think for 1 second, and women can voice note you continually and tell me if this is wrong, but I certainly don't think that they look at a man in a bar or when they're out or wherever and go, oh my god, he looks like he's got a good job and can provide a nice thing for me. Yeah. So I think it's all done. It's all animal attraction for both sides. Yes, I do get that women might consider it that other things more in terms of what he's like, but I don't think that initially comes in to someone's thought process.
I think you're right. I do think that women do think about those things. So I watched a TV show, Married at First Sight. I don't know if you've seen it. It's Married at First Sight Australia, and there was this.
Was it a documentary?
No, it's a show.
It is a show.
You're just showing how out of touch you are.
Yeah, but it's really good. It's really addictive. Actually, I really enjoy it. But it was so there's this girl, and she was fairly attractive, and the guy that she'd married was a good-looking guy as well. But all she went on about, because he didn't really give an exact description of what his job was.
Right.
So he just said, "Oh, I'm in events. But what it was a bar manager. And she could not get over the fact that he was a bar manager to the point where it ended their marriage.
Yeah.
Because she was just, well, I've got to tell my friends that I'm married to someone that works in a bar.
Yeah.
And that was all that she could fixate on.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter how good looking he was, but I do think the initial thing is a girl's not going to look at a guy bar and think, I wonder how sexy his brain is.
Yeah, but then I saw on another podcast, because I do think there is more than one podcast. I don't think this is the only one. I think there is others.
Well, that's devastating.
But I saw another one where they had a group of 4 or 5 girls and a group of 4 or 5 men, and they basically asked the males, would it bother you what her job was? Would it affect your opinion of her or your thought process in taking anything further with her based on what she did for a job? And every single guy said no, absolutely not. When they asked the women, every single one said yes, it would. It would play a big part in what my thought process of taking that further.
Does that come down to the old the man is the provider?
I think so.
And the women want to be provided for.
And I think that is that because as much as we've moved on and we've spoken about the jobs and different societies very, very different these days, I do think there is an element of that women probably do want to be provided for. Is that right?
I just want to know that they're safe. They want
there was.
But even in that, then, if a woman is safe and she's provided for, and then she still leaves a man, is love then?
But isn't that what they're saying? That thing then helps love become enough if from what
I think it just
anonymous
lets you
girl
skip
one
over.
was saying was
Janine. I think it just skips over other stuff. I just feel like I've been really lucky. I'm 30 years old. I've been in a decent amount of relationships, and in not one of those relationships did I ever feel like money was a factor.
Yeah.
Maybe you've been
like me and Vicky have always, and obviously sometimes I said to her the other night, I'll get us a meal, that's fine, but I know that it's pretty much always been 50-50, but it's been like that in every relationship. So I don't know if that's just because I'm tight. It could be that.
Probably. or the age thing. The age
generation.
I don't feel like it's ever been a thing where I've had to have that awkward conversation, because if I needed to pay more and I had the ability to, I would. But with me and Vicky, it's always just been very fair, and I don't even think we ever really had a conversation about it. It just happened that way.
I think you can love someone and not be present. So yes, I agree that love isn't enough sometimes. You have to really work on your relationship and make sure you're constantly dating each other and not forgetting that person has their own sets of needs, and working together to make sure that your relationship works. So yes, I believe that you can love somebody so much, but if you're not putting any effort, time into the relationship, then love isn't enough.
Just whilst we're here,
did anyone else notice she was Australian?
Yeah, accents are great, aren't they?
We've gone global.
Yeah, we have gone global.
I think she's absolutely right. So yes, love is enough. Is that what she said?
No, but basically what she's saying is it is enough if everybody's prepared to put the time and effort in to meet each other's needs. I think the problem,
because everyone has different.
Yeah, I think you could argue that if you're not prepared to meet each other's needs, then
love isn't enough.
Love isn't. It is. Otherwise, you would want to do those things. Surely.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because a lot of people were saying love isn't enough, and I just took it as love isn't enough. But actually, there's so much
to actually consider,
which I just didn't realise.
I think it's more the fact that we've probably got a narrow-minded view on love.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
maybe our view on it is different, and we need to widen our.
Well, you two do. Obviously, I've got quite a good grasp on. That's why my relationship's still working.
Well, we'll play your voice note in a minute from your girlfriend.
Yeah, you fat fuck.
Hello, I just wanted to put my point across. The whole love isn't enough situation. I think in today's society we rely so much on social media. A lot of people look at what influencers and the likes are doing in their lives for their partners, and I think it's gotten to a point where a lot of, should I say, so to speak, normal people start to think that they should get that too, and that's not the case, because a lot of the time what you see on social media is fake, and people are just posting it for views essentially. I think the other thing is that in relationships you do start to get comfortable with the other person, so I think sometimes even if you don't mean to, you start to neglect that other person and forget everything that they actually do for you and your family.
Katie,
so that's a 4-minute one.
So Katie is so fucking switched on now. I'm gonna interview here.
I had a really good point.
Okay, go on then.
She's got a very sexy husky voice.
That's it. Okay.
That's
my point.
That's what you take
Female
from
Barry
that.
White. So Katie.
She's probably been smoking for at least a day.
Katie's what she.
Her real name's not Katie. All of these women are anonymous.
No, I know.
I know, but just in case they don't, I'm like, oh, Katie, I'm gonna go through my followers on Instagram and be like, I mean, it take ages. Okay. 22,000 of them. But
so anonymous is absolutely right.
Go through mine. I've got 3.
Like because she. Firstly, is basically vindicated what I said earlier, which is like social media has corrupted our minds a little bit as to what we expect. I mean, like, but we all, like, as adults, we all know that what we see on social media isn't a true reflection, and that's ultimately it sets us up for failure. And I think that's what happens so much.
I think part of the problem is we know that it's not.
But we still expect it.
But we still buy into it. And we still think that.
Pick me.
Okay, because you're the social media that's ruined everyone's perception of love.
Not because of me, but I've lived that world for years now. Of you put out a version of yourself.
Yeah.
So it feels like I'm on the other end of it because I feel like I've had a marriage breakdown in a society where people expect a certain thing because of everything that's put on social media, but it's me that's putting stuff on social media.
Yeah.
So it's like come full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly that. And I think ultimately your portrayed relationship, it isn't exactly what your relationship was like.
No.
Because it couldn't be.
It couldn't be. But I would say there's a lot of factors to what we put online that is true. And okay, maybe it's been a different few months in our relationship, but certainly before that, anyone that knew us as Dan and Lucy would see our videos, but then they'd meet us and we'd always be joking around and banter. I thought banter was our love language. Yeah. So, and I've had loads of stick from people online that have said, well, what do you expect? You used to call her fat all the time and you used to do this. And and this is the whole thing about putting something on social media that people believe.
You're going to get this about me, aren't you? You might say these things about me.
No, I wasn't even going to. I will now. I'll think of a fat joke. But, no, but it was like, I would say a joke about Lucy and #baby weight, which in hindsight was probably not the best thing to do, but it was all in agreed. Like we'd agreed
100%.
What I was like, so within our relationship, it was our sake. It didn't matter. It didn't matter if I said #baby weight because she knew I adored her, and I didn't think those things, but I was just saying them for a reaction.
The weird thing is, it'd be different if you wasn't on social media and you were saying that just to her behind closed doors, just the two of you.
Yeah,
that's very.
I said much worse things.
I said it. I'm
going to put it out there because people are going to say it anyway. So
I said it in my best man speech. That part of your. What I felt was why you worked so well was because you both didn't take yourself too seriously and you did joke around and yes, that was the way that worked.
I think for me is probably the last 6 months I started taking myself too seriously though.
Yeah.
I think I'd lost that fun aspect of my life, which is only my fault, but money worries.
Yeah. But it's human nature to come. I mean, we've come and started this and make jokes about it, and we make wedding jokes and we make dad jokes and whatever might be. But that's just our way of dealing with stuff like that. So,
but just again to bring us back to Katie, our anonymous person who's anonymous called Katie.
Yeah.
You say, oh, maybe the last 6 months I just took myself too serious, but really could that not also be put down to you being complacent, like Katie said, where in a relationship eventually at some point you stop you stop doing those little things that made that relationship work, and then you become complacent. Me and Vicky had it. There was a period where it felt like we were flatmates.
Yeah.
You know, and then it took a series of really, you know, one thing that we really tried to work on throughout the relationship, and we're much better at it now, is communicating. And we'll both be very, very straight and to the point. And she knows that if she wants something from me, I don't do well with like beating around the bush or fluff. She'll say stuff, and we laugh and joke about it earlier, but when I need attention, I like my hair stroked. But like, we will be sat in the sofa and she'll go, stroke my hair. And I'm like, okay, well, as long as I do it, then I know she's taken care for. She doesn't expect a lot, but when she does expect stuff, she'll tell me, and vice versa. I'll say, fuck it.
So talking about, because the point that you made earlier, I don't know if you want to bring this up, expectations between men and women, is that women have this expectation because of movies and because of Instagram and this expectation of Love Island and what a relationship should be. And then you mentioned Pornhub.
Did I?
Yeah, because you said, so is it the same for guys? We expect, because that's our expectation of watching what a woman does.
Is this a technical term? Because I'm not quite sure what you're... Is this to do with the mics again?
Trust me, you know what Pornhub is, mate.
Yeah. More than most. No, I think... Oh, God, I'm stumbling. What I was trying to get across is that, like, I think men have more of an unrealistic expectation of... Like, I think a lot of the time it's... People say, men feel really self-conscious about how they perform in bed because they watch porn and they can't live up to that. But I think most of the time, like, women don't actually give a fuck. And I think a lot of it is but also, like, what we see on those videos on those naughty websites, like, I know it's not like that in real life. Like, do you know what I mean? She's never struggled to unload the washing machine. Do you know what I mean? So those things.
Is that a euphemism?
Yeah.
Is that a euphemism?
It absolutely is.
But it's, you know, it's those things. So I don't know where I'm going with this. Yeah.
Let's move on.
You brought it up, mate. I'm just trying to get out of the doghouse you're trying to put me in.
Because sometimes love actually just isn't enough.
Straight to the point. There you
A
go.
relationship is built on so much more than just love. You can be so in love with somebody and them love you just as much back, and it still be one-sided and it still not be right for one person. So in those situations, love just isn't enough. It's not enough to keep you together, and it's not enough to give you a future. It is so hard to accept that and move on from it. But once you do, trust me, you'll find the right person, and it makes everything just worth it.
Why does she speak in paragraphs?
That's just how some people speak. Yeah, it's not really here to mock people.
She's just being clear and concise.
You got the spelling of your own name wrong on Instagram 2 weeks ago, so I don't think you should be judging how people talk.
My name's not officially.
No, it's not. It's also not officially.
Yeah. Also, it's not friends either.
2.5 things. Well,
but yeah, okay. Anyway, so that's...
No, Isabel is straight to the point, and she's absolutely... Yeah, I see what she's talking about. I mean, you're probably more equipped to talk about that than me.
Yeah, I think it's hard when you do love someone and you don't feel the love coming back in the same way.
Yeah.
But then I also think you do have to reflect and be okay. Did I put everything out there?
Yeah.
As much, like hearing people putting their thoughts across. Yeah. Okay. It was difficult because my relationship came to a natural end where there's no animosity, there's no anger involved. It's just got to a stage where we became really good friends rather than anything. But then listening to some of this now, I'm thinking, okay, did I try hard enough? Did I make enough time for the two of us? Can I sit back and go, do you know what? I gave it everything I possibly could. I don't know.
But that can be said both ways round.
Absolutely.
You know, it's unfair. And I think men do take a lot of that burden.
Yeah.
Like, did I do enough? But
definitely. And
I'm not saying that this isn't an attack on women. I'm not like a woman hater. I love women. They're brilliant. But like, did they do enough? Did she do enough to
Yeah,
make me
well,
want to
I think that just goes both ways.
But it just
depends,
goes, yeah.
depends on the sort of person you are. Some people walk out of a relationship and think, "Oh, it's a dog's bollocks during that," and they fucked it up.
Yeah.
And the other person might have the polar opposite version of that. So I think what some people are guilty of doing, and I don't think it's through any fault of their own, is people have different love languages, and people. So some people, the most important part of what they believe a relationship is financial. Yeah, so they want to make sure that they're looked after, and like I might have a girlfriend, and because that's my love language, I know that financials mean a lot to me. This isn't actually me. I don't give a shit about it. But I'm putting myself in someone else's shoes.
That's lucky for you, really.
Yeah, it is. 'Cause I'm skinned. But like I might get into a relationship and just love bomb them and buy them presents every day, but then I might not give them the attention. I might not actively listen to them when they talk.
Yeah. Do you know what? Someone one it might come up actually, but someone said she loved this person, but this person, with their love language was buying gifts.
Yeah.
And she was like, I just didn't want any gifts. I didn't want expensive handbags.
But then that comes back probably to your point about communication. That actually, probably communication is more important than that love. Because if she'd been comfortable to be able to say to him, that's not what I need from you. I don't need that from you. And he'd been comfortable enough to take that on board and understand that. Okay, I don't just need to buy her presents. Actually, going for a walk or whatever might be just as.
Well, she might love the presents, but she might be dropping hints that she wants new GHDs, and he's buying her random stuff. He just needs to listen more. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
I don't think love is enough. I think, and this works both ways. You can say you love someone, and you can genuinely mean that, and you feel that. But if you're out there acting like a knobhead, and you're not putting in the effort, you're not showing up for your relationship, and being consistent, being accountable, and everything that you need in a relationship to make it work, that relationship isn't going to last. Love can only take you so far, in my opinion. That's my 2 pence worth.
I like that line. I like rather than is love enough, love can only take you so far. I like that. I think, and I think being accountable is something that, as I said just a minute ago, on reflection, you do sit back. I come out, like you said, I come out of a relationship and you think there's probably that little bit of male pride that you think, well, I did everything I could. I did absolutely everything I could. This is her loss. She'll never find anyone as amazing as me. Blah 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 blah. But actually,
I do think that
there is. Well, okay.
I am not about you.
About me,
definitely. About me, about myself. Yeah.
But I do think then you do start to analyse it. And you do think, okay, could I have made more of an effort on that day? Could I have done? Could I have done this? Could I have been a better communicator?
Being more accountable.
100%. Being accountable and making sure that as much as I loved that person, did they feel that?
Yeah.
I could be sat there saying and telling people that how much I love that person, but actually, if they didn't feel that from me, then that's different.
Are you getting bored of the subjects of love because you've got love, so you're
nailed down, mate.
It's not that. I was actually
relationship.
I was actually just thinking when I think about love, I think of it as like this really, really big, complicated ball of things. But it's like a lot of the stuff that's come up today are just things that are free and just being able to listen and be accountable and stuff. It actually takes fuck all effort to do those things. It just means that you have to actually think to yourself and like I don't think in my relationship with Vicky, although our relationship's happy, I don't think I hold myself accountable as much as I probably should. And I don't feel like I actively listen. Like sometimes she'll come home and want to tell me about her day, and I'll be honest, like sometimes I just can't be asked to sit and listen to her. And I feel like you two obviously are newly single, and I'm sat here thinking, oh well, I've got a girlfriend and our relationship's all right, so I'm here lucky. But I generally am actually just sat here thinking, I'm really fucking lucky.
Yeah, and that's actually quite a nice realisation that you've had, because I've had a realisation of probably like you, I should have done more, and I think it's probably, I don't know how to explain this properly, but if your relationship ended, which I hope it doesn't, and I think Vic's amazing, I think you're a great couple, would you then think back and think, I wish I could be asked to have listened to her on that day? Would you think that's... So why don't we? And this is the whole thing about changing relationships moving forward. Actually, in those moments, do those things. Do go and make a cup of tea when someone hasn't asked. Like, you've said that Vicky will say, can you rub my hair? Can you put your fingers...
Stroke, yeah.
Can you stroke my hair? Yeah, it'd be weird to rub it, I guess, but I was thinking of something else. But can you... Why don't you do those things without her asking?
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes I do, don't get me wrong, but it also makes me sad to think that, because Vicky deserves everything, right? Like, I generally think that she deserves all of that stuff.
Is that because she let you do anal?
And that's probably, that time, because I'm saying such lovely stuff in this as well, it's probably going to make the cut. Yeah. So, but like, she deserves all of this stuff, so it makes me sad to think that I might have that. Like, if we did ever break up, I might have that hindsight, and I might put those things into action for the next girl. And it makes me sad to think that.
But you can do it now.
No, exactly. That's what I'm sat here saying. Like, I realise now that I'm really lucky, and I'm not always going to hold myself accountable. Like, I know myself as a person, and there'll be times where I won't just do the washing up, and I won't sit there and think, oh, you know, I'm so thankful that she does that, and I should do better. I'm not always going to be that person, but yeah, no, I do think I've had a bit.
I think that's a thing of when you think about it, when you've just sort of nailed it when you said it's the things that are free. So if I think about like wanting to make the relationship work, it would be, could I have made more of an effort? Could I have arranged more date nights? Could I have I don't know, randomly bought more flowers? Or could I have said, what do you want to do today? Let's do that. You don't think about the things of, yes, there's washing that needs doing, and I'll jump on. I mean, I think I'm pretty good with stuff like that. I know I could definitely be better on stuff like that, but that's not the sort of stuff that you then think back, I should have done that more. I should have been more helpful.
Because they're not going to look back and think, I don't think, oh, he was really, like, he did the washing. He did the washing up, but they will think, oh, he took me for a walk, or he brought me dinner home, or he brought me flowers home.
Actually, what I think, reading between the lines with some of them, is actually for someone to come home from work and not have to worry about all that crap, and have a dinner cooked for them, a bath run for them, or something like that. Yeah. It doesn't cost anything.
But that does go both ways, though. Again.
Yeah, but it's little things. Like, we have really good. I've said that we have good communication, but like I hate talking on the phone. Like, I don't like talking on the phone really. And Vicky would always call me on her way home from work, and I'm always like, all right, babe, can we talk when you get in? Yeah. And like, it upsets me now thinking about it, because she's called me. Yeah. And I've said, oh well, you know, if we speak about it on the phone, we'll have nothing to talk about when we get in. But then sometimes she gets in and we'll have a shower because she works long nights, and then we'll go straight to sleep.
Those conversations don't happen.
Exactly. Yeah. It kills me thinking about it now.
Yeah.
But that's amazing. Like, I wish I'd have had this realisation. Yeah. Because I think one of the things I've learned is that women will put out signals. Because we've said about this, a girl doesn't just wake up and end a relationship or a marriage because she's woken up that day. This has been... Is there signs? And it's like, I wish someone would have come to me and said, do this, do that, do more. And this is amazing that you're in this situation, that you can maybe do those things now. And when she does phone you, you can answer and say, oh, I'm so glad you phoned. Like, I've missed you today, I'm so glad you phoned.
Ultimately, you're driving home at the end of the day.
Like, how good is that going to make her feel?
No, exactly.
100%.
And I feel like I do those things. I will send her words of affirmation out of the blue. I'll text her and say, good morning, darling, I love you. Like, she does get that stuff, but then to think, like, why can't she get that stuff and get more? It's like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it has to go both ways. Like, ultimately, I think if me doing that really upset her, I would hope that she would be able to tell me about that, because like I've mentioned more than twice now, that we have decent communication. But also, she might listen to this podcast next week and think, I'm so fucking glad they're having that conversation, because now I don't have to tell them.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But now you have to step it up because we've talked about it. So when
she needs to let me do it again, doesn't she?
Yeah. I think also it's helping. It's probably, but it's too late for us to have this realization now in the relationships that we've just come out of. But moving forward, if I want to be happy. This is. I need to sit down and remember this.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah. When you allow someone else in your life.
This evening in this conversation to say, okay, I don't want to make the same mistakes and the same errors
for the next
come
one.
up against the same problems that I did. I've been in 2 long-term relationships in 9, 10 years and 12, 13 years. Like it's so. I sort of throw myself in, but they have both ultimately ended. So maybe that is something I need to. I've come out of it and gone. Yeah, I don't think I'm a bad guy. I don't cause any problems. I don't disappear at weekends. I'm sort of
just rubbish in bed,
fairly handy around the house. Yeah, I'm not the greatest lover in the world, but
nothing a fun can't fix.
I take speed over quality, 100%. But could I be a better communicator? 100%.
But then
100% I could be.
There is then an argument to say, yeah, everyone should try, and they should try hard, and they should try more, and they should do better, because you can always self-improve. But if you're with the right person, you shouldn't have to, because you are enough.
I think it'll just.
I don't think that exists.
But I don't. But I think
after
you're right.
this conversation, I don't think this exists.
But this is probably right now sitting here. I would say. I can't see myself looking for love again. I know that might sound sad, but I've got a little girl, and
you love her. You don't.
And I love her, and I don't need anything else in my life. I've got my mates, I've got my little girl, and that is all that matters. But the reason I say that, because you could just say, well, yeah, you just move on and find someone else, which so many people on social media have said. Just go out and find someone else, and just get over someone, you get under someone. Which ironically, I had a message from a really lovely girl actually, and she was really kind. She said, if you ever need to just rant, you can use my ear. She said, I've also you can use my body. Yeah, I'll tell you. She said, they say the best medicine is to get over someone, get under someone. So if you want to use my body, you're welcome to. So that was really nice actually.
I told Vicky not to message that.
No, she does keep. No, my point was, anyone that I think knew me and Lucy, I think would have thought we're perfect.
Yeah.
But not perfect. That sounds arrogant.
No,
not perfect.
The perception is it looks perfect.
I thought she was. You were
very, very well suited.
Perfectly suited. So I think if I can't make that work, I can't make anything work.
But I think sometimes, like you said, like you shouldn't need to, because if that person's perfect for you, then you shouldn't have to do all those things because it's perfect. But I think if you're in a situation where you probably think your partner is perfect and that they don't need anything from you because you are perfect as well, then they probably just aren't as perfect as you think because they're not able to communicate those things. And one day it might just turn out that
she leaves.
She leaves.
Ta-ta, Danielson.
Cheerio.
Is this the next one?
Is there a reason?
I was saying that I don't know if I'm abnormal for a woman or I've broken the mould or something like that, but I think love is enough. And I don't know where other women are coming from when they say love isn't enough. What else is there? Because surely everything that they want comes with that love. And the love is an umbrella term, and everything that's done in a relationship is through the love. I mean, my husband loves me dearly. I mean, he tells me every day, and that's all I need. And there's things, he still does things for me, and there's other things to our relationship, but it's all because of love. So love's enough.
Love is the bread of the Subway sandwich.
Love is the bread.
Like she said that she used an umbrella.
Yeah, umbrella-tive, I think she said, which I don't know what that word means.
But you used a sandwich.
I used a sandwich, yeah. So she used
food's my love language.
Yeah, we know.
But I find love is enough. Like, I don't need to be given anything to feel loved or possessions or anything like that. Like, I feel loved if the guy just helps around the house, makes me laugh when I'm having a rubbish day, or just sits there and watches crap with you on TV. Like, that's love for me, and that's enough for me.
Well, sometimes when you are just sat on the sofa, sometimes you think we should be talking. We should be interacting more. We should be interacting. We've all probably done it where you've put a film on the telly, and then 5 minutes later you look up and you're on your phones and it's whatever. And you're not in that moment. But actually, if the communication was better, could be that absolutely. I'm sat there thinking, oh God, I should be talking, I should be making an effort. Like this isn't a healthy relationship. Just that's at the end of the sofa. But actually, she might be more contented than anyone. Just sat comforted at the end of the sofa. That actually, I'm on the sofa with the person I love.
Yeah.
We're just relaxing. We've both been at work all day. The kids are in bed now.
I think,
and
there's a difference between watching something together and being present watching something together.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And again, like, not to just talking about my own situation, I think something that where I've probably had a tougher few months mental health wise, I guess. The struggles of, we've got a wedding coming up, we've had holidays, we've got a mortgage to pay, we've got bills, we've got a family. From a man's point of view of being a provider, like, I probably ended up getting to a situation where I spent a lot of my evenings on my own playing a video game because I needed that escape from life, and that was my escape from life. But what I probably didn't realise was, although we'd spoken about it a couple of times, I thought, she's fine because she doesn't mind, she goes to bed early anyway, but actually she probably would have just appreciated me being next to her.
Yeah.
And I took that for granted, and that's my own fault, and that's probably a realisation that I've had. I'm too proud. I haven't spoken to her about that, but I'm too proud to do that. But
she won't listen to the podcast.
She won't listen to the podcast. She hates me. So, next one.
What men don't understand is showing us women more attention and showing us more worthy. Another thing is, when you have been in a relationship for so long, we get into bad habits. Coming home, sitting on the sofa, watching telly, or even scrolling through our phones, like most of us do. Or even playing on computer games. When really, we should be going out for walks, playing.
Sorry, I didn't know that was going to come up.
She's like, who's that medium that used to be on the fucking...
I don't know, but she sounds like a mixture of all of our...
That's so weird. That freaked me out. Right, let's carry on.
Few games together and doing date nights.
Her point is exactly what we've just said. Exactly what we've just said.
Yeah.
How weird. Right.
Maybe men and women aren't different after all.
No.
Okay, here goes. So, I think love isn't enough in marriages and relationships, as they are built on lots of different factors, and you need to be strong in all aspects to be successful. Things like cooperating, communication, being able to read each other's love languages, being supportive, sex life and more. When you meet someone and you fall in love, all those factors are at 100%, but as time goes on and the relationship is tested, and maybe your other half didn't support you through a tough time at work or a health scare, or your partner is rubbish at love languages and romance, or you question their trust. You keep going and you stay because you love them, and each time it wears you down that little bit more until no matter how much love you still have for that person, you've spent so long trying to cover over all the cracks.
Weirdly, that's reminded me of an analogy that you'd said, or we'd spoken about, which was a relationship is like a vase. And when that vase cracks,
when it breaks, you can glue it back together.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
But we had a difference of opinion on this.
Yeah.
Because you said you can glue it back together, but it will never be the same. But I said, well, the cracks could just be. But that was me trying to hold on to.
Yeah, I mean, this was. We've had this conversation as well. This is because I remember us talking about this because of. I then said the same thing as Jonno, is the cracks will always be there. You can't. You might make it look like they're not there. They might be seamless, but you'd always know it was cracked.
Yeah.
The vase will still go back on the shelf, and you can put flowers in it, and it will still work to a degree. But ultimately, it's never going to be as strong as it was previously.
But I think I was holding on to the hope. I was holding on to the hope. So I was like,
that's
the
not to
cracks
say
a character. Like that's a character in a relationship.
So in I think it's an Asian culture where if they break a glass or a vase, what they do, or what they used to do, is they would repair the cracks with gold, and so you'd have these beautiful cracked vases where the seams, whereas now got together it's all gold, and they reckon that that's more beautiful than the original thing. So it's not to say that yes, you will always remember it, but if you put that vase back together in the right way, it might not be stronger, but it definitely can be just as beautiful, if not more beautiful.
And also it can still function.
Yeah.
It can still work.
I'm not sure if this would be an unpopular opinion, but
two of them.
I do believe that love is enough. Love isn't big extravagant gifts.
Do you know what's sad? Do you know what's really sad?
Tell me. Is it the ending of my marriage?
No. I mean, that was sad. Yeah, definitely, 100%. I mean, I could see how sad it was for you.
Not for you.
Everyone did. 1.5 million.
1.5 million people saw it. How sad it was.
Well, 4 million on TikTok.
Do you know what I find sad? And again, I think that I am a bit of a hopeless romantic. But I think it's sad that she feels it will be an unpopular opinion that love is enough. Like that's a society that we live in these days where that's the unpopular opinion. That love is enough.
Hadn't thought about it like that. And a few people have said that. A few girls have said this is an unpopular opinion, but love is enough.
It's like, why should that be an unpopular opinion? It should be the opinion.
But maybe it's because of what society now tells us.
Yeah.
And that is because now relationships are so different, and it depends what previous relationships have had. You might be a woman that's always left your partner. You might have always broken up with your partner, whereas...
Or you could be a woman that's always been
broken up with.
Yeah,
then it's like, love is enough, love isn't enough. It just depends on your own circumstances.
Yeah.
Love isn't massive gestures. Love is the little things. Love is the fun. It's the mutual respect. It's the trust, respecting boundaries. Love is remembering your why. What made you friends? What made you then partners? And then what made you fall for that person? And as long as you can hold that in your heart and remember that you truly do have that love, then it's more than enough. What I always say to anybody, it's not the present, it's the presence. Be there.
Yeah.
Just be there. That's all I need. And you could stay 5 minutes away, 5 hours away, 5,000 miles away, as long as you're still present in that moment when your person needs them. That's all I want.
I fucking love a jingle, and
I love that.
It's not presents, it's presents.
Yeah. Like presents as in a gift.
Yeah, that's...
But like a presence as in I'm here and I'm present.
Yeah. That's my favourite one.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, that's why I've left it actually till... Not last, but there's one more. But the next
I think we should leave it to last.
That.
Well, the other person's not going to match it. Unless it's
they will.
I've never heard something so ridiculous in all my life. Love is not enough. Whoever said that is an asshole.
Yes.
Okay.
It was better.
I concede. That was best.
That was the entire. And I just want to play it again because it's so brilliant.
I've never heard something so ridiculous in all my life. Love is not enough. Whoever said that is an asshole.
So I don't know how this got on there. What's this? That's weird. What is this? Oh, that's right. That's Steve.
No, that wasn't. You might think that was me. That was
because it was you.
No, that was Britain's Got Talent winner Callum Scott. I think.
Oh, because they do those things. They do those things on Britain's Got Talent, like the Wagner and the thing. They put you on like a circus of horrors. They put you on.
Do you know what you've done? Do you know what you've taken a beautiful moment where that song came on, and I thought to myself, do you know what? Do you know who's down and miserable
all the time?
A lot.
All the time.
Is my best friend. This song has come on, and I want to let him know that, do you know what? Things can only get better.
And it was lovely.
You've taken it. Yeah, it was lovely. I was up and in the car on my way to my actual job.
Yeah.
I got back grumpy too.
Whoa, angry.
Two messages.
Whoever said that's an asshole.
Two messages back from you, which I think he's both still in bed, to be honest.
Yeah, I was.
So, well, this is ruin my morning.
Yeah,
Oh, no, I didn't say ruin my morning. I said it's brilliant. Yeah.
So what I like about that person there that said whoever said that as an arsehole, you can tell that maybe I'm being this might have to get cut out. I think that's a woman of age.
She's an older lady.
Yeah. You can tell, and this is us when we're talking about people back in the age where they wouldn't just break up and they would rebuild their relationships and work on it. You can tell that she's fucking done that, and that's why she has such a strong and valid opinion.
And also, she's got a strong enough relationship where if her partner's been an arsehole, she's going to tell him he's an arsehole. But he will respect the fact that she's been told he's an arsehole, and he'll know it and he'll move on.
And I think that is the difference. I think that is the difference between then and now, and relationships then and now, and that is as simple as that.
Yeah.
That's as simple as that. And I do think, although they don't believe this, that by saying love isn't enough, I feel like that is a bit of a cop out. I do feel like that is a bit of a cop out. I understand there's more layers to it. I understand that, but I think as a general, because you're not then giving an answer, you're not saying.
I think it needs to be love isn't enough. What I needed was,
Yeah.
if it's that, then fair enough.
If it's left at
if people break up with you, and it's very much the same. If they break up with you and they say, "Oh, I'm just sorry, but love isn't enough," it's the same as somebody saying, "It's not you, it's me."
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, then tell me what is it about you that's done this?
Yeah.
Like if they said, "Oh, it's not you, it's me. I just need to be free," and then you can say, "Well, what do you need to be free from?"
Yeah.
And at least then you get the closure that you need from that situation.
Yeah, I agree. So I'll finish on this. I don't know if you've seen this video or heard this, but this enraged me.
Me singing again.
No, it's not you singing again.
That
Do you want more of that?
No.
Mate, there is more. There was
No,
about
no,
5
no,
minutes,
no,
isn't there?
Leave the music to this guy.
But yeah,
Take away
you
my record, do. Simon Cowell might be listening to this.
probably not. So I wanted to finish on this to get your opinions on this, and I think we might all have the same opinion, but.
I left my boyfriend and I've been traveling for 10 days and I've slept with 22 people in that 10 days. My goal was 20 and I just hit 22 this morning. It's 1 p.m. now here in Paris and I need to check out because I'm going home. I really doubt I'm going to get another one on the board, either on the plane or like on my layover. So I think 22 is where we're going to cap it out, but how did I go?
So I saw that on Instagram, and it enraged me.
Yeah, but I think that's the whole idea of it. It's rage bait, isn't it?
It is rage bait, and it's got me. It's absolutely got me.
It's just rage bait, though. I don't think that happens.
But then why? Like, even if it hasn't happened, which I hope that it hasn't happened.
Engagement.
But why do you want your name associated with that for engagement?
Yeah.
What's the benefit of that? Because then every man on the internet is going to think, yeah, okay, she's quite an attractive looking girl, but you've had 22 men in 10 days. Do you know what? I can do the quick math on that. That's 2 a day, minimum.
Okay, so
most days.
Well, I presume what other content does she upload? What's her content?
I haven't researched. I haven't looked.
So I can almost guarantee it's a sex sales option.
Yeah.
What would you know?
She probably has that many fans. And this is, I've had sex with 22 guys. The whole idea is that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, let me see what those 22 guys have had, or like it could be anything.
Right.
But
Okay.
I guarantee she's not doing fucking cooking tutorials. Like it's just rage bait, and
Yeah.
the fact that it's
It got
got
me.
you so bad is actually that's what rage baited me. I don't give a shit about this about this because I'm like, okay, if she's out of her relationship, she's broke up with a fella, she wants to fuck 100 guys, then let her. It's her pussy, it's their dick. They can do what they want,
All
right?
right, yeah.
No,
I get it,
she can do what she wants.
She can do what she wants. She can do what she wants.
She's
but she has done what she wants.
Which is 22 men in 10 days.
I'll tell you what it is though. As a father now,
Right.
right?
Look at that spider.
It's only a little spider, but don't do that to me because that scared the life out of me. But it's quick, isn't it? See how quick that moved. As a father, I was like, she's got a father somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. I don't know. But
I didn't fuck 22 guys.
like, you wouldn't.
Not this weekend.
You would do for 500 million though. You times that earlier. But it just enraged me. But I hadn't looked at it as it could be just social media, and I should have because it's social media and everything's
To
fake.
give you an
right?
example of this, so on my Instagram earlier, it was the tattoo work that I had done recently and how much I charged, and they were the worst tattoos ever, and it was like full sleeve, £600. It was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And all of the engagement was, oh my god, I would never pay for this. These tattoos are shit. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. And someone said this was absolutely genius because if you look at the rest of his work, he's an absolutely amazing artist. This post is just here to get you on his page. And it had millions of views.
So this happened to me, and it stopped me. It was
Just when you
clickbait.
cried.
No, I didn't. This is a different.
That was real. That was raw.
That was raw. That was from the heart, Jonno. You knew that from a
He's a
broken.
hero.
I'm a hero. Actually, I just don't wear a cape, but that's fine. I could probably get a cape. Can I get a cape, mate?
Get a cape for the next episode.
I'll wear a cape for the next episode just to mock myself. No, so I saw a headline. It was on social media. This is a really quick story, but it was Ronan Keating. Ronan Keating says something like
Life is a roller coaster.
No, tragic. That would have been a good. Ronan Keating says tragic last goodbye to daughter. And I was like, oh my God. Like I felt for him. That's why I clicked on it. She went to Australia for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I knew she'd gone travelling.
And I was like, sorry?
Yeah.
Fucking what? And I clicked in that, and it pissed me off because I clicked in it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but
that was it.
Now I feel like I am a content consumer. I've definitely said this. I don't watch TV. I watch YouTube. It's like that's the whole thing. I consume social media probably a lot more than other people. And like I say, I don't watch TV. I only watch YouTube. And because of that, I'm desensitized to the shit like that. Yeah. I'm desensitized to those clickbait titles. Yeah. I already knew the moment you said it. I didn't think, oh, she's dead. I said she's gone travelling.
She's gone travelling, but I didn't. I was like, oh, I felt sorry for him. I was like, oh my God, he said, and I wanted to read it and see what has happened to her. She's just gone travelling. If anything, it's a positive. It's a lovely story. Yeah. She's gone travelling. He's gone to the airport to give her a lift to the airport. She had to get an Uber.
But that could be a generational thing. That could be that you've been more.
Yeah,
raised to stuff like that, whereas we're a little bit like, oh my God, like, that's horrendous.
But we didn't grow up, like Harper knew how to work an iPad at the age of 2.
Yeah.
Not because we're forcing an iPad in front of her, but just because the games now, it's like, as a games player, there's a puzzle or teach them stuff and it's on an iPad and she can whiz through and do YouTube Kids, and I only had a football and a basketball and a tennis racket. That's what I had until the age of about 15. But yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up there. I just have one video that I wanted to show Steve.
Special video just for you, Jonno, for when we record the next podcast. Dun, dun.
Oh my God. Was that it? That was in it?
So...
Has that gone now?
Is it still there? It is still there.
It's still there.
Is it still there?
Thank you for watching 2.5 Friends. It's been a pleasure recording these.
Oh my God, it's there!
The audio. For the people listening on the podcast, that is a video that I found. This is a video that I recorded of a mouse in our studio, which is my garage, of a mouse. And I know, and for over the years,
my shoes are over there.
Yes, I know there might be a mouse in there now. It's your own fault for sending me spider videos.
Yeah, well, you're gonna wake up to a shitload more of them tomorrow morning.
That was not so little as well.
That was literally. Do we not need to actually end with our opinion? Actually, has your opinion changed? But hearing some of the comments,
my opinion's changed, and I wish it didn't through this process. I thought I'd have loads of support of people telling me, Dan, love is enough. But I think actually it's not enough.
My opinion hasn't changed. One thing that I do just want to say, and it hasn't been touched on at all, I think in order to really love someone else, you need to love yourself.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of people coming in and out of relationships, and ultimately, if you love yourself, then it allows someone else to love you, and it also gives you the ability to love someone. If you don't truly love yourself, and if you can't stand yourself, how can you expect anyone else to stand it?
That was deep from Ricky as well.
Really deep.
Because you're always like, I know we're the funny ones, but that was, you're a bit of a joker, so that was really deep from you.
Yeah,
that's what I liked. I enjoyed that. And because what I was going to say is, let's hear Steve's, and then we should definitely hear Vicky's voice note.
Okay, yeah.
I think my opinion has changed slightly. I still really want to believe that love is enough.
Yeah,
I really do, but I do think that there are other elements that play a big part in that, and it's definitely changed my thoughts and probably how I will go into a future relationship.
I think all it's made me do is, like, I'm the same as you, but I think just because my previous bit was a bit rubbish, so I just want to make it a bit better. But I wish, I want to believe love is enough, but now I just feel full of regret from the things that I could have done, because in my mind Lucy was the one, and I've let that go, and that's my fault. I'd never tell her that. I'd never own up, but I feel like it's probably for a series of things that I feel were out of my control due to maybe some mental health issues and money worries and blah blah blah. Just life gets in the way. And I do think when you've got children, everything just goes into making that child the best and giving that child the most, and you give that child a part of yourself, which then I think is taken away from your relationship. So I think I'm just now full of regret.
Yeah, but it's not about this is the thing, you need to harness that regret. You can't do anything about it.
No,
all you can do is use it to grow.
Self-wallow. I can just wallow and cry.
No. you need to use this as, like we said earlier about hindsight and how that's like a powerful tool. Well, you are experiencing hindsight, so you just need to make sure that when you don't have to go and look for love, Dan, but eventually there's going to be a point where it happens, right?
Yes,
and it's about it will happen organically, and although at the moment you've told us, I don't think I'll ever want to meet anyone, I don't think I want to fall in love again, there'll be a time where you don't have the choice and it happens, and it will happen organically. Maybe you just need to make sure that when it does happen, all these things you regret now aren't the same things you regret when that one inevitably fails.
The only mistake you'll make is by not learning from what you've done. That's an even bigger regret. An even bigger regret is to say, I knew what I probably didn't do right or well enough in situation A, to then not change anything in situation B would be the biggest mistake that you can make, and not you, but anyone that
definitely
make. So you just got to learn from it.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Hold yourself accountable, as I think one of the as Beth said.
Yeah. You're going to get confusing because you're giving them real names.
Yeah. But they're all anonymous.
Because all anonymous, it doesn't matter.
They're all anonymous. Just say anonymous. You don't need to give them names. But okay, so we asked, and this was like a live thing, we asked Ricky's girlfriend, is love enough?
I'll
play the whole thing.
Play
in its entirety.
Can you answer a question? Because I think you will probably say something quite funny. The question is, in a relationship, is love enough?
No, definitely not.
A clear communication.
Can you fucking elaborate? I don't know, like maybe explain why? It's for the podcast as well. Like you've been asking to come on it, so.
Right, one, I never asked to be on the podcast. You're a big fat fucking liar. And two, because love isn't enough in a relationship, and it all depends on what day it is. Like, it depends. If I feel needy, I need your love, attention, maxed out to the maximum capacity that it can be.
And more.
But sometimes I don't even need love, because sometimes I don't want it. So, it just depends, I think. But, like right now, is love enough? Yeah, I am happy that you love me, but I feel like if you just paid me more attention and like maybe stroked my hair more and things like that, and let me watch programmes when I want, you don't just take the controls to watch bloody camper van conversion videos. That would make it
as I'm going to... So we have really good communication.
Really? Unless a camper man renovation film is on.
If she ever turns around and goes, right, I want to convert a Sprinter van into a camper van, I know so much about that process, and that's just through years of watching those conversions.
Okay, but so you've then got there's one option that she's got to come. She could come to you with. She could come and say, I want to take up surfing, or I want to travel the world, or I want to build a bird box in the garden, and you're like, I can't help you.
In a flat.
I can't help you.
Yeah.
Could you? No, it doesn't matter. But my point is, the only thing you can do for that girl is, if she wants to build a camper van conversion, then you've got it now. Anything else, you're fucked, mate.
It's not the only thing out.
Oh, you've ruined it, right?
That's when you can't. That's the end of it.
Thanks for listening.
Oh, what a blast!
We're not doing anything to do. The blast bit is not going to make it.
I hope you enjoyed the episode.
We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. It's on Saturday.
I hope you enjoyed this week's episode.
You do, or we do? Do we all hope that they did, or did just you hope?
We hope that you enjoyed this week's episode.
If you did enjoy it, please give it a like, a share, a follow, anything. Tell your nan.
Or your dad.
So, probably not you though, Ricky. Just because he's dead. But thanks for watching.